Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to the last episode of Season 2 for Mushoku Tensei. I'm not going to say the number, you know the number, I don't need to say it. But yeah, damn! This second court felt like it flew by so fast. It really did. At the very least, it definitely felt faster than I feel like Core 1 did. But that's also because I liked more episodes this core than I did the last one. And there were definitely, I feel like, 2 10 out of 10 episodes for me on this one. And the other one, maybe like only 1. And there was maybe another one that reached like a 9.5. But none of them hit me emotionally as much as the Norn episode and the one where Paul dies. So yeah. As for last episode, usually I talk at length about, you know, what happened in it and how I feel about it after a week. But after reading the comments in the last video, I feel like some of my criticisms of the episode, or just what I didn't like, it basically got chalked down to it being a fault of the adaptation. So I don't know how to really talk about it other than, you know, I replied to a comment basically saying with how different it is that they portrayed the Roxy and Rudy stuff, especially, you know, when they're in the bed together. And even a little bit just stuff that got cut of Roxy being told that Rudy has Sylphie and a baby coming. Is like, oh wow. At this point, might as well, I kinda have to ignore the novel for this because of how different it is. So basically, you know, at this point it's like, okay, I'm gonna, yes, I know what happened here didn't happen like that in the novel, but that's how it happened here, so that's how I'm going to judge it. Okay? This is its own canon for stuff like that. So yeah, so the stuff that I didn't like still remain because it still happened in the anime. But I'm still, you know, I'm still taking into account the differences. And it's like, oh, okay. And yeah, a lot of people, especially novel readers, were like, oh, that was pretty bad. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. I do think that regardless of whether they, even if they had adapted it faithfully, I think I would still find fault on on the Rudy and Roxy stuff is still happening here, because it really, for me, it takes away just time to process and mourn Paul's death. That it just kind of took away from what should have been the priority of the episode. Like, Rudy just lost his dad, but then the Roxy stuff happens, and then it's like, oh, now he's all focused on whether or not he should take Roxy as his wife, and it's like, this is not the time we should be doing this. This should not be what we're taking as priority. So yeah, that felt a little bit like the author had just the priorities not in the right place. It just felt a little bit not appropriate tone-wise. But the stuff at the beginning of the episode, that was great. And thank you for putting the full inner monologue of Rudy in the comments as well. That was even more illuminating. Even if I think it gets me less emotional reading it without listening to Rudy's voice. So yeah, that's basically how I managed to put the way that I think about last episode. Hopefully I wasn't too confusing. But anyways, let's just get into this episode and see where it goes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I don't think we're getting the opening. What is it? Yeah. Well, they can be intertwined. They're not mutually exclusive. The man god did say that. Was that going to be a clue? Was that a clue for the regret? I didn't even think about that. I just assumed that it was going to be Paul after it happened. Where is she? As well as Aisha and Norn. Man, they really blindsided me, thinking, oh, they're going to be fine. It's only going to be Paul. Oh. Yeah. One of his biggest fears. Oh. Oh, where are the other two? Okay. Okay, so he was just panicking because of assumptions that he had. Okay. Him panicking was going to start making me panic too. I don't blame him for thinking there was going to be something else, though. I'm still not looking forward to telling Norn the news. No. Oh boy. Norn had definitely the best relationship out of the three with him, too. Oh. Damn, it's almost as big as her. Did her subconscious recognize something in them? Oh, Norn. Actually looking out for Aisha. Ah, she's grown so much. Oh. I'm glad Aisha is getting this moment. Of course you must have missed her. Mm. Mm. No. It wasn't anyone's fault. Thank you, Elena Liz. I really wanted more of this. Mm. Ah. Oh. Right. Roxy's the only one staying out of the group. I am curious how she's going to respond. Oh, those two are staying here as well, to hear? Fair enough, I guess they'll know eventually. Man, I really wish that the anime hadn't given Roxy those faults from the last episode. But that's what she has here. Of course, I expected Norn to be the one most bothered by this. You know, the character animation was great there. Mm. Yeah, she took it a lot better than I thought she would. Norn, I totally get it, though. That is different. Oh, she doesn't know about demons? Well, Norn... I totally get why, you know, she's 100%, you know, those are all her feelings, very valid, but this is Norn. Which, like, Sylvie hasn't said anything. She's the one that should have the last say. Hmm. Yeah, she is the first wife, after all. Mm. That's good. I respect that. Oh? Uh... Man, she's taking this so well. Damn, she had that little faith in him. Right. Roxy has always been the best person in his eyes. Now the light coming in. But yeah, I expected this from Selfie. Although I expected her to be a little, you know, like, what? Like, and then like think it over and then be like, okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, I expected this from Selfie. Oh. She's probably used to it. I think it fits her. Oh. There's still more to the episode than expected. Oh? Okay, we just time skipped what was left for the baby to be born. And she looks just like Rudy. Green hair is cooler. I did not expect him to get that emotional somehow. I wish he could have seen it. Oh, with him putting the stuff there feels very Japanese. Yeah, that is true. Oh no, I'm gonna get emotional again. Lucy? That's a good name. Now we'll never know. No, you're right. Nah, don't say that. Unless it happened eventually. No. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay. I thought they were gonna show him there for a second, looking blurry. But that, yeah, has a similar implication. Ay! I bet that will be the case. Inheritance. Oh, that was the name of the episode? Oh, don't do this to me. Oh no. Season 3? Okay. Well, I'm gonna be waiting for that. Just give me a second. Okay, I blew my nose and dried my tears. But yeah. Man, this episode made me cry more than I thought it would. Like, I expected it to get emotional at some point once, Rudy told, Norn about Paul. And it was pretty emotional. That was the first instance that I shed tears in the episode. Then it happened again when Elena, Liz, and Rudy were talking. And then the last time, right at the very end, it's Rudy talking to Paul in his grave. Oh, that was a bit emotionally exhausting. But I think they did a decent job at, definitely better than I expected, at balancing characters still coming to terms with what happened to Paul and the whole Roxy and Sophie situation. But yeah, the beginning with Rudy being all panicky that something had happened to Sylvie, Aisha, and or Norn, had me also being like doubting myself and being like, wait a minute, is the regret not over? Is it not only Paul? But thankfully he was wrong. Then we had just everyone inside of the house delivering the news to Sylvie, Norn, and Aisha. And just, oh man. Norn asking Rudy if he did everything that he could to protect Paul. And I can only imagine how tough it must have been for Rudy to convince himself to be able to say, yes, I did. Because we all know that he most definitely must doubt that he did. But then she looks at his missing hand and she gets it. And just goes to show how highly she thinks of Rudy's capabilities and skills as a fighter. And plus believing what other people say about him. That she was like, well, if you try your best and even that wasn't enough, then no one else could have kept him alive. Then, oh, that punched me in the heart. And then she just breaks down crying. I can't, man. Norn this season just became one of my favorites, and I just knew that when she found out it would break my heart, and it did. And we even had a small Aisha moment with her mom, just finally letting her emotions be free and not keeping it controlled by being the perfect maid and perfect sister. I also really like the moment when Rudy lets Norn keep Paul's sword, and I don't remember the specific moment. Must have been like in the first like 3 episodes, 4 maybe, of the series. But I'm pretty sure what she says to Norn there about like, you know, you must only grab a sword if you have a sword in your heart. You have to be ready if you want to protect something precious to you. I feel like that's verbatim what Paul said to him back then when he was training him with the sword too. And that's why Lilia had that reaction. And I just, there's something so heartwarming about Rudy now teaching Norn what Paul taught him, now that he's gone because he can't anymore. And then we have the talk with Geese, and then Ellie and Elise, and they just, both of them like trying to put the blame on themselves and then being like, no, I won't blame myself, so please don't blame yourself. It was just something that, you know, it was just the Hydra, you know, it's just, things happen. It was just Paul loving Rudy enough that he'd lay down his life for him, even if it would mean leaving everyone else behind. And just, you know, Elena is in the midst of battle, not really having everyone into account. Plus, just everyone knew how strong Paul was, so no one truly was going, even thought of him as being in danger until it actually happened. Then we had Rudy asking for permission so Roxy could be his second wife, and then Norn just laid it all down. And honestly, I don't feel like I have much to say other than, yeah, I agree with everything that she's saying. But at the end of the day, it's not up to Norn to decide that. She's not the one on a relationship with Rudy. But I'm sure that Rudy, there's a reason he kept those two here to listen to what he was going to say here, because he cared about Norn and Aisha's opinion. So, you know, there's a reason that, you know, she's allowed to say all this. I know some people, I feel like, are going to be bothered by Norn being just very aggressive about her feelings in the matter. But we've all known how Norn feels about Rudy and being just very loose with women. That was a big thing of why she didn't feel comfortable in his presence at the start. So that's already pretty big enough reason. So, like, I totally understand where she's coming from and why she's harsh on him for that particular reason. And she doesn't just rip Rudy a new one. She also yells and reprimands Roxy as well. Which I do like that Roxy's like, no, you are right. I don't really have a ground to stand on this one. And she was even willing to leave after hearing all that. But I do also think that at the end of the day, it wasn't Norn's decision to make. It was selfish. So, yeah. Selfie just, she wouldn't be with Rudy if she didn't get how Rudy is. And was willing to accept him exactly as he is right now. So, she takes this pretty easily. And she's pretty happy that there's someone else who loves Rudy as much as she does. And sees herself in Roxy a little bit. Which is, okay, sure. You know, definitely an easy way to solve this. But, you know, we all know that Sylphie is like this. A lot of her personality is just like, yeah, I love Rudy, so I'm so lucky that he even has accepted me, so I'm gonna accept everything that he does. which, yeah, doesn't make me a big Sylvie fan, but it's something that was already established within her character, so it's not something like, oh, what? That response came out of nowhere. Nah, definitely not. I do like that Norna still has some qualms about it. While training with Rudy, but they turn in on her. And yeah, she's being a bit of a hypocrite, but I don't mind it. I think it makes her a more rounded character, because of course she's more protective of her dad than she would be of Rudy. Paul just was a much more significant figure for her in her formative years, so she'll always be willing to take Paul's side over anyone else. And now Lucy Grey Rat was born. I wish we could have known what Rudy was thinking there. But I think it's also neat that we only get his tears. And then the last scene with Rudy at Paul's grave. I mean, if I start talking about it in depth, I'm gonna start tearing up again. But it was very, very beautiful. And I just love how Rudy is expressing how he wants to honor his dad's memory, and how he wants to change now that he has a kid. I mean, ever since we've known him, he's been wanting to change, but even more so now that he has a baby. And it's definitely a big change, and it'll demand of him to be more responsible. I am really curious how Rudy is going to act now that he's gonna be a dad. I am curious, but also, like, I don't know, the rest of the series, the baby could just stay as a baby, or at the very least we go to like maybe the baby being like 5 years old, and that's where the series ends. But even then, I am curious, because it's very different from being a big brother. Although I'm sure that the lessons that he's learned from being a big brother will help him with that. As well as Sylvie just being the most patient character we've seen in this series. But yeah, this feels very, like Rudy's accepting now, there's no way I'm not going to make mistakes from here on out. But even then, I know that I just gotta keep going. I cannot agonize over them forever, otherwise I know that I'm not going to be happy. And that resonates with me. And then the last part of like the wind blowing, as if it was Paul's spirit, if you will, saying him goodbye, or take care for the last time. Oh, that was so good. And then we see glimpses of everyone at the end. We even see the back of what seems to be Eris, which, yeah, I'm expecting them to not reunite, but sure, reunite at some point. And for the misunderstanding that he's had for years to be clarified. Although I'm not sure exactly how that would go, and how exactly Eris has changed. Has she become less of a tsundere? I really want to see her again. I wonder if she's still with Gillian. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for the episode. And oh yeah, as season as a whole, it's hard to say because, you know, I divide them by like core 1 and core 2. Core 1 was good, but it wasn't great. And then season 2 was definitely great. I think it's similar to how I feel about season 1. Core 1 is fairly good, but it doesn't reach the heights that core 2 does. So yeah. I'm gonna be looking forward to season 3 whenever we get it. Because I don't know how long the light novels are, or rather how many volumes, but I know it's finished already. But I think we'll definitely get to a point where we see Rudy as a young adult. And right now he's still, what, like 16? Somewhere around there. I'm not super, like, I do pay attention, but I do forget exactly when we get time jumps and, you know, what that says about the age of the characters. But yeah, if you enjoyed my reaction to this episode and the season as a whole, then please like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments. So, see ya!